You know homesteading, but not very many people know about apartment steading. Apartment steading is a starting branch of homesteading, to put it super simply. And there's a lot of things that you can do when it comes to apartment steading. I personally did a lot of apartment steading back in 2015, 2016, when I was living with my roommates and I grew sweet peppers and onions in milk jugs because one, that's all I could afford was just milk jugs, but also two, because I enjoyed cooking then and I enjoy cooking now, and the most common ingredients that I used in most of my dishes were yellow onions and sweet peppers. So that's what I grew in my milk jugs. I just grew like 3 onion plants and 3 sweet pepper plants. And that was all I did, but that was all I could do. And it was a good time because it allowed me to learn a lot of valuable lessons that I am going to share with you in this video. My name is Jeff. I want to emphasize my experience with apartment steading, but also my experience with just growing vegetables and owning gardens in general. My dad used to have huge gardens, swaths of gardens. And for the longest time since I have had my earliest memories, 3, 4 years old, I remember going out into the garden with him and just plucking at the corn and eating green beans straight off the stalk and just having a wonderful time. And I want you to be able to eventually get a home, be able to grow big gardens, be able to have that same experience with your future kids that I had with my dad and my son has with me. I want that for you. And if you want that for you, please continue watching this video and any of my other videos to learn everything that you can about homesteading, or in this particular sense, apartment steading. But long-winded introductions out of the way, the basis of apartment steading is one simple factor. That is the container garden, the esoteric container garden, or whatever you want to call it, right? It's just having a container, putting dirt in it, putting seeds in it, and then putting it next to a south-facing window if you're in the northern hemisphere, and watching the results happen automatically. And it's very, very, very cheap to do. It's very easy to do. It gives you key lessons that you can take forward for when you do own a home or you rent a home, and then you can start actually proper homesteading. There's no reason why you can't start growing things in containers to assist you with whatever it is that you want assistance with today. Now, whenever people think of container gardens, they tend to think that, oh, maybe I can only grow like one thing at a time, and it's just not worth my time, it's not worth my effort, you know, but it is. It genuinely is. Like, most windowsills can have 5 to 6 container pots sitting in front of them, and they'll grow just fine. So what exactly can you grow in container gardens then? Well, you can either ask ChatGPT or you can ask Google, but personally for me, like I said, I grew sweet onions, yellow onions, and I also grew green bell peppers. But you could also grow strawberries, blueberries, chili peppers, sweet peppers, basil, cilantro, garlic, lettuce, spinach, kale, like literally almost anything that you can think of that you would use for cooking or general eating. You can grow it in a container in an apartment, no problems whatsoever. Now, obviously, like, you can't grow pumpkins in it, you can't grow watermelons, you can't grow all of these massive fruits that require a lot of space and a lot of energy. But for most people, if you just want strawberries, just grow 6 strawberries, and then you'll easily have like 4 to 5 strawberries to eat every single day off of those 6 plants. If you want blueberries, blueberries can be compact, and then you can just munch on the blueberries whenever they're available. Same thing with lettuce, same thing with peppers, same thing with literally everything that you can grow in a container. It's genuinely easy to do so. I want you to start because it's so important to get started now and find out if you are actually interested in doing more. Because while container gardens, yes, they are limited, yes, they are small, yes, they are boring, and they're not as fun as just growing crops straight out of the ground for fields on end, it also allows you the opportunity to think, am I actually a patient enough person to bother getting container gardens and to bother raising my own crops? Because the dream, like, for example, like, Stardew Valley, right? Stardew Valley, you grow parsnips in the ground, and then those parsnips are full and already grown in just 3 days. But obviously, parsnips in real life don't take 3 days to just grow. It takes multiple weeks, multiple months even, for most vegetables or fruits to reach the stage where they can start giving you produce that you initially planted. So obviously, you're not going to be replacing your grocery bill budget with container gardens. But what you can do is think about, what do you use most in your cooking? You can grow what you enjoy most in most of your recipes. For me, that was sweet onions and sweet peppers. For you, that may be lettuce. For you, that may be spinach or broccoli or Brussels sprouts or anything that you genuinely cook with on a near daily basis. And some of the benefits about doing this as well is that when you grow your own vegetables, you grow much more attached to them. You know that you're not spraying any pesticides or herbicides or not giving them any funk, so that way they're a lot healthier. And you also can taste the difference. I know it sounds exaggeratory to say that the difference is out of this world when it comes to your vegetables versus grocery store vegetables, but I'm telling you, if you grow your own vegetables, they taste so much better. They're crunchier, they're full of flavor, they are yours. You worked to be able to grow those container gardens, and you are eating and rewarding yourself for all of that effort. It feels good. Like, I cannot emphasize enough just how amazing it feels to take the first bite of a salad using all vegetables that you personally grew. Or to take the first bite of goulash using the onions and sweet peppers that you personally grew. There is a difference. There is a difference. There is a difference. Let me nail that in your head. I'm excited for you, because when I realized for the first time how different the grocery store was to my garden, I never, ever wanted to buy sweet peppers or onions from any of the grocery stores ever again. Now, granted, at this time, I also learned about the farmer's market in my area, and then I started going to the farmer's market, and that's a whole different tangent that I'm not going to go into. But I'm telling you that if you just get started with 5 or 6 containers, or even just one container, if you just get started with one container and grow one thing, you're an apartment steader, future homesteader, and you can do it. I promise you, it's way easier and way more fun than you think it will be once you get to the final phase of harvesting your own vegetables. You got this.